Hello and welcome all to the Season 2 finale of the Spooky Spooky Horror Show. I'm one of your hosts, Sean. I'm joined by Anthony, and for our final blank is a 1-star film, Changed My Mind. We're going to be talking about the 2019 British found footage horror film, 13. But before we get into that, Anthony, how has your week been? It is a terrible name.
I mean, it was a shitbox week. Only thing that was good this week is that it was warm enough, like 80 degrees. It stayed 80 degrees for me and my kid to go out and then riding our bikes. That was it. Okay. Other than that, I fuck this week. This week stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we got stuff fixed on your computer.
Well, no, God, yeah. Well, yesterday we cleaned up a whole bunch of shit that I didn't know how to get rid of, like gigs.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's still more there that we need to go through and get rid of, but it's whatever.
Better than it was yesterday, so.
Yeah. This week's been fine, I guess. It's a lot less stressful. The wife told her job about her cancer diagnosis, so they are 100% behind her and ready to give her whatever she needs to do
what she's got.
Try to do whatever she needs to do to get better. So that's great. We have doctor's appointments tomorrow with all like the treatment people, surgery, chemo, all them to do that. However, the system is still fucking broken because we're still not doing the MRI till the end of the month, which is fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
There's no one else to like not review her, like give her a referral to.
Yeah, nope, that's it.
That's
otherwise
stupid.
the insurance won't pay it, and they want to charge a lot.
Of course they won't pay it.
Yeah,
this amazing healthcare service we have.
Yep. So we just pray it doesn't spread, and when everything comes back, that like the MRI is saying, hey, it's just where it is, and you'll be fine because the cancer that she has is super treatable.
It's treatable.
So we just need to make sure that it's early enough on, and then hopefully it'll be fine, and we'll have many more years to be married. But
marital bliss.
That's really about it. It's really just been like stressing about that.
The unknown.
I also, man, I wish I had. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna open up TikTok.
What?
I mean, I might as well pimp out the.
I didn't even know you had a TikTok.
Well, yeah, it's dude. When you do stuff on social media to create content, you have to be on all of the social media platforms to spread your content.
Make a couple second videos with dumb dancing moves and shit.
That's
the Macarena for.
That's what a lot of people do. But dude, you sound like you're fucking 50. This is why you didn't understand.
What do you mean
that when you download
like I'm 50?
Dude, the comment that you just made is the reason why it's completely understandable that you thought when you downloaded a document, it just immediately went to the documents folder and not your download folder.
Now like this. Listen, people, when it said download, it says download in the corner. So I thought it downloaded it, it gets it, I open it, it goes to a file. That's it. I thought, hey, it's done and over with. What the fuck do I know? Instead, it's there, so there's technically 2, not 1. You downloaded it and then re-downloaded it, so it's fucking 2. I didn't know this, so it's been sitting there. There's like gigabytes and terabytes, all kinds of shit in my fucking computer for months now. Could be the reason why everything crashes. I don't know. It says I have good everything. I got an updated system and GPU, but no, I have all these fucking downloads from like 7 years ago. I don't delete shit. I don't delete anything.
Oh god. But
I am a hoarder of files.
Yeah,
put me on blast on the podcast about my. And then now get this internet land. I had an incident at work where I was out sick I had a sinus infection. Okay, they were trying to tell me I had COVID. I'm like, it's not fucking COVID, idiot. It's goddamn sinus infection. I'm sitting there. I guess they had a hack event at work. I work for General Motors. General Motors, we do have these incidents. This fucking guy goes and tells him, oh, dude, it's Anthony. Anthony's a hacker. He does that streaming. So when I came in, they all told me about this fucking idiot that said that. I'm like, bro, legitimately, I have an IT guy as a friend. Like, my friend that I grew up with is an IT for me because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. My extent is turning a fucking controller on. That's it. Dude thought I'm a hacker. I can't delete fucking things I download. Hacker.
So fucking funny.
Got Angelina Jolie in the closet over here or some shit. Fucking hacker, my ass.
Can I open this as a separate link? Let's see if it opens it.
All right, let's get into this fucking
but
found
yeah, so
footage.
I put a link to the TikTok. If you follow me on Instagram, the thing will be there too. I submitted a story idea for Bloody Disgusting and the George A. Romero Foundation's fiction podcast called The Dead, where they're gonna choose people that submit ideas, and then you'll be paid to write a script for basically an audio play. For I think it said it's on like Bloody FM, but yeah, check it out. Leave comments if you like the idea. I mean, obviously, if they don't choose it, then I'll probably just write a script for it myself and do it. Yeah, because like I have another idea.
That's all.
For a script.
You can continue going. We could go write a script on that.
Oh, I was telling the wife about a zombie script that I've been like playing around with for a while. I told her the idea, and I was like, I don't want this to be the idea. One, it wouldn't make sense for an audio play because there's no visual elements. Everything is just audio. And she was like, no, that's a really good idea, and you should just write it and submit it to stuff. And it's like, that's awesome, but the WGA is on strike right now, and
now is not the time.
I may not be a member of the WGA, but I don't want to be a fucking scab.
Scabs are scum.
Yeah, so they just set up.
If you're a scab, you're a scum.
But yeah, so like that's all I've been doing this week. It's really hasn't been a whole lot. Been playing Guardians of the Galaxy again. Haven't really been streaming.
Dude,
I've been wanting to.
I'm gonna put fucking money away for that stream deck. But what do you want to play on stream though?
Dude, honestly, I don't know, because a lot of the time, my brain is so wrapped up in worrying about
everything,
the possibility of my wife dying, and leaving my 11-year-old son without a mother, that I exactly
pretty morbid right now.
Yeah, but it's like that's the shit that's constantly just running in my head.
Guy goes, straight down.
I'm not sleeping a lot, so it's like that's just constantly playing. So what I've been doing is watching a shitload of Community. I think I've restarted it start to finish like 3 times in the past like 2 weeks.
I love Danny Glover. Danny Glover's fucking hilarious.
You mean Donald Glover? Danny Glover is
Donald Glover. Danny Glover is the other guy. Yeah.
I'm too old for this shit. But yeah, so it's been a lot of that, and it's like sitting down to like stream has been rough, because it's like I don't want to sit down and play Phasmo. I don't want to play Ghost Hunter Corp. Like I don't want to play any of that. I especially don't want to play anything alone right now. I'd rather be playing something multiplayer with friends, and
even silently with somebody there. It's just easier.
Yeah. So it's
guys, little looking guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. So. But I watched this. I did finish the script for it today, so there might be a bunch of spelling errors in it because I was doing this and working on that hashtag pitch the dead. So who fucking knows? Oh god! And from all my not being able to breathe, my cheeks are so fucking red right now. But all right, let's get into some production facts. There aren't a lot because this was a YouTube short found footage film. Made by 2 kids. I'm pretty sure they were probably like freshmen in college, because like they look super young.
Like oh yeah. I was trying to tell you, like when you first opened the scene, I don't remember the names, fucking these 2 idiots, but when you first
Archie
opened the
and
scene,
Nathan.
it was doing like Archie, fucking yeah, that works out well. So the dude, when he first starts out talking to you, he takes like he had no hat on. It's like a giant like coif looking haircut.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's that very Italian, like Staten Island Italian haircut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't have suspected from the guy from over the pond, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's short. It's only about 45 minutes. I think it's about
something.
Yeah, it's 40 something. It's really not long, and it goes fairly quick. It's like
yes, it does.
I
nodded off accidentally trying to rewatch it, and like I nodded, I was what the fuck? Oh shit, it's half done.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, because I think it's like by the 10-minute mark, they set up the creepy factor. They set up like what they need to do. By the 15-minute mark. By the 15-minute mark, they're at the location and they're starting to like look at stuff, and then by like the 30-minute mark, everything is like all the shit's hitting the fan, and then it ends like 13 minutes later. So it goes by pretty quick. And just before we went live, you had said that this is like the most start to finish found footage film that we've watched this season.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like all the other ones will throw in like random other like more cinematic shots and stuff like that. But this one is literally from start to finish. 2 dudes, 3 cameras. Sounds like a porn, but 2 dudes, 3 cameras, shoot. That's it. Yeah. And that's the best thing I like. Like Paranormal Activity. What was it? Blair Witch. It didn't have like cinematic pictures in it. The only time they did it was like one-on-one discussions with like townspeople. Everything else was camera, and I like that about this one.
Okay, let's get into it. 13, which, like we said, I think as soon as we started, terrible fucking name for this. Fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's like so hard to fucking. You have to look this up. It's pretty decently hard.
If you don't know what the thumbnail for the movie is, multiple other movies pop up. This is a terrible fucking name. It should have been
fucking 1,000.
Like the fact that 13 is like a throwaway fucking thing in the film. They should have named it like that. What is it? What was the name written on the book? Esther? It wasn't Esther, but it's not Esther.
Esther. Esther, yeah. Esther, not Esther.
It should have been that.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I know. Who fucking knows? I mean, even they make fun of the fact that that's the name. But that's what the name should have been, because XIII is a terrible fucking name. The Roman numeral shit is just fucking stupid. But
annoying as shit trying to fucking figure that out.
But 13 is a short.
If you're doing it from your TV, you don't fucking have Roman numerals. So like, you put an XLL, and that comes up a lot of different things.
Yeah. But 13 is a short, suspenseful horror film of the found footage genre, following 2 students through a media project turned sour after a mysterious book leads them to an unknown part of their country. It was written and directed by Archie Meyer and Nathan Cox, who also star in the film. And that is all there is. I went to their YouTube channel. There's no like behind the scenes stuff. There's none of that.
It's a 45-minute fucking movie. I wasn't expecting it to be anything extravagant.
But it's like this movie, it's on YouTube, but it's also on Tubi.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where I first found it. I first found it on Tubi while I was just watching shit. But when you click on the stuff for the company that made it, it doesn't have both Archie and Nathan. It just has Archie, and it appears that Archie is still making movies. Like he has, like the company that it's like a production company that he has now in like South London. So even though I'm going with it's a 1 star, and you have to try to convince me that it's not, I do like this movie. I think it's fast enough pace. I think what they did with the cameras that they had, and really the gear that they had, because it was just
you know what I mean? Like, it was bare minimum.
I think it was like 3 Canon cameras, and not like the new ones, but 3 Canon DSLR
one of them
cameras.
Was like a trusty VHS. I'm like, what do you do with a VHS in a modern time? Like, how are you fucking? I don't even know how to get them.
Because camcorders usually have night vision on them, which is the only fucking time in any of these goddamn movies that we watched this year, this season, that fucking had a camera that legitimately has night vision.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, thank you. But yeah, and then I think the audio that they were using was probably straight from the camera. I think, not completely sure. I think so. And lights. It was just flashlights. That's the gear that they had. It's like they went, they checked out a fucking thing. It's like, that's very, cool. And whatever.
I like the minimalist of that. It made it more,
But 1 star. You have to tell me that it's not.
It's not a 1 star, yes.
Yeah. So, you ready for some spoilers?
If whatever you could have found, I can't imagine.
Okay, I need to drink some water. This stuff is making my mouth all dry and shit. On April 24th, 2006, a camera was discovered on an undisclosed road in South London. Footage was seized by the authorities after the camera and its origins could not be identified. This is that footage. Nathan is screwing around with the camera and what?
I'm sorry, did anybody else get the dun-dun-dun from fucking Law and Order when you fucking in my head I just heard dun-dun-dun.
Nathan is screwing around with the camera. Archie tells him to button it up because this is their final project and it needs to be professional. This is for their media project where they need to pick a book any book and find inspiration from it. I don't know how this is supposed to work. None of this makes sense to me.
Well, see, I said the same thing. I'm gonna guess they wanted to go to a lore section in, I guess, Wales or a part of wherever they are, and
South
we're gonna
London.
take like a Mothman or something like that, like something like that. Then when they
Yeah.
start pulling books out, I'm like, you're in like historical facts and shit like that. I was like, it didn't make any sense.
Honestly, what this kind of feels like, and I commend them for doing it, it feels like they probably found that location and like
I don't know if that was good
filmed stuff. If you don't have good, like when you're done with the drinks, throw them out. Get a trash can for that room. This is the second time now on stream you have drank
this was the same
old
day.
gross stuff.
No.
Well, that's not good.
One was like this morning, one was like from this afternoon. So
Then
one
it
was like
wouldn't-
warm
but
and like
then it would-
pissy, and
No.
one wasn't.
But you specifically said this is not good. This is bad.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I don't like the way it tasted.
Yeah. So throw it out. Don't
But
leave
yes,
it there.
I'm terrible with that. I'm terrible with drinks like that.
I feel like what they did was they probably found this location and like filmed all the stuff that they were going to film there and then backtracked, because the stuff in the book was like written, the fence and all this stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but to make sure that
Well, I
like
think they were
you
trying to
know,
mimic it.
yeah, because it's like, had they had the book and had to like write all the stuff in it to find that place, that doesn't seem like that would make sense, because they wouldn't know the location yet, unless that's just something that's close to that they've been to a bunch of times, so they already knew about. Either way, it's that behind the scenes stuff seems pretty cool, but in a media class and be like, find a book and find inspiration from it. What?
Grab something
How
random.
does that work? I found Pride and Prejudice. Okay, so what are you gonna do with it? I have no fucking clue.
Make it into a zombie thing. I don't know
You
why
know,
they
like
came out with that.
it's so weird. So they're going home. They're in college when they're first recording this, so they're heading home for, I guess, the weekend, maybe, or maybe it's like a holiday, like a summer vacation, not summer vacation, winter break or spring break, something like that. They're going home, so they're not going to be at college, and when they get home, they're going to go check out the local library. They get there, they're already like kind of thinking around a little bit, and I think it's the next day. Yeah, because they have to be there a couple of days because
they were traveling. It was first they were traveling, and then they found the library.
They traveled there by train. They stay at Archie's house for the first day, I think, because then the next day he's like, we've been here one day and look at the state of my room. Then they go and head out and go to check out, head to the library. Nathan is manning the camera, and Archie just wants him to get like cinematic shots. Yet there is nothing cinematic about how shaky everything is. Everything.
That's what I mean. Cinematic really isn't something you would consider a found footage.
When the cinematics is like the camera just doing this
down
everywhere
half the time, jiggling around.
Fucking yeah, no, that's not how any of that works. They get some shots around the city that they even say, hey, we're not a tourist, this is for uni or whatever. They head to the library and make their way up to the 3rd floor, which is the history section. They quietly search through the history section before deciding to check out the local interest section. It's there that they find an unmarked book that looks like it's been beat to shit, scratch marks all over it. The only writing is on the exterior of the book, and it says like we were saying before, Esther, which they go, oh, maybe it's Esther. I don't know. It to me, it doesn't make sense. It's a terrible name, but it could mean something else, because we'll find out other stuff later. They flip through the book and see chunks were ripped out at random parts, and there's creepy symbols and writings on the inside. The main scribblings say, beware, beware the fallen gate. Originally, it said open gate, but open had been crossed out and replaced by fallen. On the next page, it says, for in the shadows, she awaits, with a picture of windows on a building and a figure on the top, in like the top right window.
The top right-hand corner.
Yeah, top right window. Since their teacher said any book, they decide to do their project on this one since
honestly, it kind of looks like a book within a book. Like if you looked at the cover, there was like a scratch mark, and you can see.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is probably just like an old book they had, and they like tore some stuff out, or maybe someone had torn pages out, so they just took it and did whatever they had to do with it. I tried to look up to see what book it was based on what the chapters were labeled, but I couldn't find anything.
Oh.
I need to pull up Discord real quick, because I was talking to Ryan and I asked him how this next part is pronounced. Okay, so yeah, since their teacher said that they can pick any book, they decided to do their project on this book, since, as they put it, it has to be more interesting than the water supply of Sussex and the geology of Weald. Now, okay. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. I didn't know, so it like W-E-A-L-D. I didn't know if it was like Weald or like Weald.
Well,
W-E-A-L-D. And Ryan said from the way it's written, it would sound like Weald, like W-H-E-E-L-E-D. So yeah, because that's the other book that they were looking at, like that they looked over at, and it's like, yeah. Outside the library, in this dope-ass alleyway with artwork that I'm sure you love, because isn't that like the drag rat or whatever the hell it's called?
Drag rat. Rat paint.
Yeah. So outside there, they're in this alleyway to get out of the wind so they can record their talking headpiece. And they explained that the librarian knew nothing about this book. She had never seen it before, and besides them bringing it up to her, nobody has ever checked it out.
They didn't even have like the little slip for the card.
Yeah. So it's at this point we're less than 10 minutes in, and they're already setting up the creepy like mystery factor, which is great, because most of the times, like, I think what movie did we watch where we were more than 3/4 of the way through and like nothing was set up? I'm pretty sure it was something this season that we watched.
The Deep House? No.
Yes. No. Actually, that was last season, but the Deep House was also like that, where like nothing happened until like the last,
like the very end.
Yeah. But yeah.
I can't remember now.
So it's like less than 10 minutes in, they already set up the creepy factor. They already set up what the premise of everything was going to be. They're a little worried about getting in trouble for picking this book because it has a shit ton of words in it. They feel that they should be fined. Fine.
Oh, okay.
Back at, I want to say, Archie's house, they start investigating the book by first trying to figure out what the symbols in the book are and like what they mean. Archie's just Googling images of Archie's Googling images of Nordic runes and can't find anything. I would have never thought to look into Nordic runes, because that shit does not look like Nordic runes. For me, in my head, like Nordic runes are more like I want to say like Legend of Zelda-esque type things, where it's like it's all sharp points
looking,
and stuff. Like for me, that's what I think of when I think of like Nordic runes and stuff. But about an hour passes. I think it's like a half hour to like 45 minutes, something like that. He does find the symbol. It means to lure the weak, and it's apparently a symbol that's part of the Icelandic magical staves group. Also, he needs to clean the screen on his laptop because it's disgusting.
And if I'm knowing what I know, pagan stuff, if that's what the fucking meaning is, leave. Don't touch that.
Well, because
it's supposed to have brought the weak. That means you.
Your asses are weak. Nathan wants to know why a bunch of kids would fuck around and deface a book with Icelandic symbols.
Ain't no kid fucking did it. That's why.
Yeah, well, because like he's like, why would they fuck around with that? Like, how would they even know what it is if it took you this long to figure it out? Which, to be fair, like 45 minutes, even like 2 hours to figure out what those symbols are. That's not a long time. Like, when you're trying to figure out what these like ancient like symbols mean, 45 minutes is not a while to try to figure this shit out. So he thinks it's kids, but then he worries that it's occults, and for me that seems like it's a huge jump
from kids to cult.
Yeah, until the next part where they look up what the fuck a magical stave is, and everything that they're pronouncing is terrible. So I paused it and just wrote down everything that it says, because it's just way easier for me to say it instead of having them say it in a British accent where they where they pluralize words that shouldn't be like pluralized, and they just completely decide to not use articles and stuff. So I wrote it. I read everything and just wrote it down. Okay, so basically these symbols represent cults dating back before the 1200s. These cults believed in using supernatural elements of time in order to make each other what they believed to be immortal. However, the rituals required constant sacrifices, as failure to do so, they believed, would leave them in a state between the natural and supernatural world. The only remaining evidence lies in fairy tales and unauthenticated drawings. So Nathan was right.
So are they trying to say that that's what was going on at that little fucking hospital place? Because let me tell you, there wasn't much going on.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it at the end. So Nathan was right. However, what makes them think it's just kids fucking around is like the weird, like, childlike doodles and the infantile writing throughout the rest of the book.
But you can't. But when you're,
I still wouldn't think
you can't use that.
Yeah, because it's like I still wouldn't think it's a cult, right? Because it's like, oh, a cult has. I would figure they would use more symbols, but then it's like this toddler drawing of stuff, and then it's these super simple. What are they called? I want to say poems, I guess. Like the thing that's written, beware the fallen gate, beware the fallen gate, and stuff like that.
Oh, like the arithmetic.
Yeah, so it's like, for me, I would still be like, oh, well, it's just kids fucking around. They probably Googled this stuff online, wrote it in a book, and then threw it in there to be like, whoa, it's cults and stuff, but I don't, whatever. They then start to look at, they start going through like the rest of the book and everything, and somehow I wish that there was a little bit more into their thinking of how they make this jump, because they're talking about the Roman numerals like at the end, and they think that the Roman numerals could be GPS coordinates,
longitude and latitude.
Yeah, which I don't know why you would think that.
North and east.
I don't remember.
N and a W, because usually you have north and east, southwest, but I don't use fucking longitude, latitude and shit.
Yeah. So it's like I don't fully understand how they made that logical leap, but at least they weren't like, oh, well, you know, all of this means this. They looked up on Google, and they did a Google search for like Roman numeral shit and all that, and they put it in and they did that instead of it being like, well, let me be a cartographer and shit. Like they didn't do any of that shit. So it's like I like that they're using the technology to do whatever they need to do. They find that it might lead to what Google Maps is saying is just an unmarked named road. They decide to check it out, but Nathan wants to make sure they get there before it's dark, because that's smart.
Well, you would hope so.
But only because if it is a cult, he doesn't want to be stumbling around in the dark with them like they're chasing them around. Which again,
what the fuck would be the difference? What the fuck would be the difference if you got a cult there or not? They're gonna be there. They're gonna fucking find you.
Well,
or you're gonna find them. Worst case scenario.
Well, if you have a cult there and it's pitch black, they can just hide and jump out at you. But if it's broad daylight, there is light coming in those windows, so there's less areas for them to hide. So this should have been you go in the morning.
A daytime event anyways.
Yeah.
But we needed the scare factor, so they did it at nighttime.
Yeah. So it's at this point, Archie finds an old camcorder that has night vision on it.
Fucking Archie.
Like I said earlier, this is what I want to see in my found footage movies. It's a camera that actually has night vision built into the camera instead of like the trope of a normal, my DSLR has night vision. No, it doesn't. That's not how that works. So they decide to use that night vision camera as kind of like a static camera. They'll just set it up somewhere to record them like doing their shit, and they'll just leave it there. Then Archie finds another Canon DSLR camera. He needs to charge it to make sure that it still works, but now they have another camera for when they're walking around. But this is when Nathan asks the question, does it have night vision too?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have night vision. It's a regular fucking photo video camera. Like, no. But he's supposed to be the camera guy.
Like, yeah, but like you said, I think they are freshman year fucking dudes.
But like he has said that like he had filmed stuff before, so it's like you're basically using the same fucking camera that now he has, and you're asking, oh, does this consumer grade blah 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 come on, you should know this. But Archie tells him that he thinks it does. God damn it, Archie!
Know that fucking name.
Like you guys are just, the name. You guys are killing
Archie,
me.
The name is what's fucking this
Archie,
dude. I'm
the
telling
name.
You. The name is fucking this guy.
As they're leaving, I guess we're getting Archie's POV. I think this is we're not looking through Nathan's camera now. I believe we're looking through Archie's camera.
That actually hurt. Whew.
Would you take too big of a puff?
No. I cracked my neck.
Oh. But yeah, so they're leaving, and on Archie's camera, as they're leaving, all I can hear is the camera searching for autofocus. Never use autofocus.
Back and forth.
But you heard it, right? Like the lens going.
Yeah.
That's the lens
working
trying
overtime
to find focus. But you should never use that. And if you are going to use it, you should have lavalier mics so that the camera audio, you're not relying on that, so you don't fucking hear that.
That's your jive. That's all your talk.
Yeah,
you're the cinematic
but
person.
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker. I understand this, like these
all
things. I've recorded enough videos over my probably well over a decade, like being on the internet, to know that you never trust camera audio. Now things are a lot better, but those cameras are fucking awful.
Shit, you're saying?
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so now they have 3 cameras, 2 tripods, and flashlights, and they're gonna head out on the adventure of a lifetime. And it's already dark. Like, it's already getting dark as they're fucking leaving. The one thing Nathan didn't want to do, go there when it's dark out, and they're just leaving as the sun is setting. I think it's like 20 minutes. They end on like a really small, like narrow road, and then they end up on a big road, and then they end up on another road, and then they end up at a road that's blocked off, and this is the unnamed road that Google Maps led them to. They grab their gear and start walking up the unnamed road. The cameras are super jittery. Did you notice that? Like, they're shaking around like way too fucking much.
But they were the whole entire movie.
So,
but I like that. I mean, I don't like it because it kind of gives you like that nauseous feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like that. It gives you the realism that, you know, like this is your first person view of what's going on.
Well, here's at first I'm like, okay, fine. They're probably holding the camera. I don't know how they're holding the cameras, but they're probably just holding the cameras.
It doesn't look like they're anything special.
I'm watching it, and then we get a shot of how they're holding the cameras. Nathan is just Nathan is just like holding his camera. For audio listeners, I'm holding the Lumix GH4. He's just holding the camera like this,
willy-nilly.
That's it. It's like,
fuck what's going on.
I'm like, why is he holding it? Because right now you're seeing it from Archie's camera, and you can see the backpack that Nathan is holding, like that has on his back, and it has the GorillaPod tripod in it. It's just in the side pouch.
Well, there was only one of them that they used for a tripod.
Well, he has, but Nathan's carrying, like, that should be attached to his camera, so he's holding it so you have more range of motion and you can hold it a little bit better, right? Yeah. But then you look over at what's his name? Then you get Nathan's camera looking at Archie, and his fucking setup is more ridiculous. He's in his hand, like holding everything. He's holding onto the camcorder while also holding on to his Canon camera that he's recording his POV with, while also holding the flashlight. And then between his armpit is a fully extended tripod. Why is the tripod fully extended? If that's
that doesn't make any sense. What, like, trying to use like a selfie stick?
I thought, no, but there's nothing attached to it. That's what they're gonna put the night vision camera on. So why isn't that just already set up with the night vision camera so you can just have that in your backpack? Why is the like the head that the camera's gonna go on just fully extended. At first I thought it was like a boom pole, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I noticed,
why would they need the boom pole? Yeah,
it's one of those like cheap like camera tripods that you can get at like Best Buy, Target, shit like that. They usually run like $10 to $15, if that, and everything. And I'm just like, okay, like that's fine. You use what you got to use, but why isn't the camera on it? So that's one less thing that you have to carry. And why is the neck of it fully extended? None of that makes sense.
You figure it's gonna get caught if you had a run.
Yeah, so I was just like, this is why their cameras are so fucking jittery. He's not using the Gorilla Pod for any stabilization, because even with the Gorilla Pod, like you can kind of set that up as a as kind of like a little bit of a shoulder mount to like get a little stabilization. But it's like, even the main thing is you don't want to be holding the camera, because if you hold the camera, every single like micro jitter you have goes there. So if you're holding a tripod and walking around and doing stuff, then your hands aren't actually on the camera. The only time you should be handheld with a camera is if it's like fully kitted out, that the extra weight of all the shit that you have on it makes it more stable. Otherwise your camera should have stabilization like built into it. Yeah,
in your hand you ain't gonna be stable as shit.
Yeah, so it's like I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, because you're right, the all the little like things, like you're like, yeah, it makes it look real, it makes it look authentic. Yeah, it also makes you nauseous just watching it over and over, like the constant shaking and moving. It's nauseating. They find a chain link fence, and they realize that yes, there is actually a building or something here. So they continue walking, and they end up finding an old school or a warehouse. I don't really know exactly what it is. I think it was like a warehouse or a factory. It was like because there was a lot of electrical in there. Yeah, but there was a very, the room that they end up going into, it's like, I think the room that they climb into the window of, I think that was a furnace that was in there, like a big furnace. But then they go into another room, and there's a shitload of electrical equipment, like big transformers and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know if it was a warehouse, because then they go to another area where it's a garage door, like one of the big garage doors. So I don't know. I don't know. They never really specify what it is, but they can't get in because the fence is chained up, so they're kind of fucked there. They continue walking, even though Archie says no. Nathan wants to turn back because he doesn't want to go in there at night. Like he does not want to do this, but Archie tells him they can't turn back now. Yeah,
fucking disgusting in there.
Yeah, exactly. But Archie tells him that they can't turn back now. Why? His excuse is,
I don't understand that. He has no real excuse for this. Something about failing the fucking project or some shit.
Yeah, but like, you could just come back in the morning.
Yes.
It's like there should have been a better excuse for it, because his only excuse is they've come too far and dragged the equipment like all the way up there. You walked for like 10 minutes.
Stuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're up there. You're stuck up there.
But Nathan is a complete pushover and decides to just stick to Archie's plan. That's dumb. The gates around it are all locked up tight, but they do see a camper van parked inside by the building. This is a clear indicator that you should just come back in the morning.
Yeah, someone's been here.
This is a 20-minute drive.
Living in Texas, don't fuck around with trespassing.
Yep. This is a clear indicator you drove 20 minutes to get here. Just, you know what's here, you're good.
You want to be able to drive 20 minutes back without dying.
Yeah. Sleep and then come back in the morning. Like that's what should happen.
Don't risk that shit.
But they follow the fence line, and they follow it to a river or a creek. They might have even said lake, but that did not sound like a lake. That sounded more like a river or a creek. They come across a way to get into the property. They find a fallen gate, just like the book said.
Just like in the book. And he asks, do you got the book? No, it's not the book.
Yeah.
First off, I don't understand why you need the book for this. No one said we're using it as a fucking map. And secondly, why wouldn't you have brought the book? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like they wanted the book kind of just to verify things, you know, because now they're having to go through memory.
Why wouldn't you have done that? Like, I could see both of their points. They both have a legitimate point to give out. Oh my god, my fucking eyes.
But now the roles reverse. Archie thinks that this is weird and they should leave, and Nathan is telling him that they should keep going because it's not even a gate. it's a fence.
It's really just something like it's a fence knocked over, really.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. The book said, like, beware the fallen gate. A gate is a fence. It's like, it's all that. It's like, you could be like, no.
But if a kid wrote it, kid don't know.
Well, yeah, if a kid wrote it, it's like that.
Okay.
At this point, I was a little annoyed that there wasn't consistency with the characters.
How so?
I understand they need to find a way to get in, but like,
yeah,
the whole time, like, they started doing this, Nathan is the guy that's like, hey, this might be cults. Like, this might be cult shit. Maybe we shouldn't, like, fuck around with this.
They switch their role, you mean? They
then
flip-flop each other?
Then they get up there and they see everything's locked. It's boarded up. It's super creepy. There's some weird fucking camper thing. And Nathan's like, hey, I think we should come back in the morning. And Archie's like, no, we have to do it now. We have to do it now. And then they walk for a little while longer, and they find the gate falling over, and now all of a sudden Archie's like, oh, this is weird, I think we should leave. And Nathan's like, no, we should keep going. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, character wise, it doesn't make sense. If Nathan is the one that's apprehensive about this, and everything that he's seeing so far has been like, hey, this is a little weird, getting to the fence, it should have been Nathan that was like, hey, this is super fucking weird.
Think of it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing. But again, this could have been their first project, so they didn't fully understand everything. So it's like, I can let it go.
Yes. I don't think they realized the switch would have been made apparent to certain people. Definitely someone like you. But, you know, I don't think they really thought that.
So someone who watches just any and all movies and goes, no, that wouldn't happen.
Literally. Like, literally. I just press play on Tubi and Pluto, and whatever horror films comes up, they should be, you know, you got to stick to the script there, pal.
Yeah. So they climb over the fence gate, whatever the hell they want to call it. Archie's a little freaked out because he's hearing some sounds. Is that a fucking scratch on my screen? Oh, no. Okay. They walk for a little while and they find not the main building. Did they find the main? No, they didn't find the main building yet, right?
No, I don't think it was the main building yet. The main building, I think it's towards the end.
No. They head in and they come across a building that's not connected to the main building, and one of the windows is broken open. They look like they're about to climb in, but then they decide not to do it and instead just look around some more. This is when they find the main building and begin counting the windows. They count 4
trying
up.
To compare it to this stupid ass fucking thing that a child wrote.
Yeah. They count 4 up and 4 across. The book earlier
sounds pretty standard.
Was 4 up and 5 across, but
that doesn't make any sense.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this, because as I think it's like when Archie when Archie goes to pee and he leaves Nathan there and he's looking around, he counts 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when he counts across, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
He loses track, I think.
Well, if you notice, as the camera goes across, between 3 and 4, it looks like there was a window there, but it had been sealed up with bricks. So there might have been a full row of windows that were sealed. So technically it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the book says, but because it's all been boarded up, they're only counting it as 4. But yeah, so now, like I said, Archie goes to pee. Nathan stays behind to do whatever and begins counting the windows again. This time though, when he gets to that 5th window, or for him 4th window on the top, on the right, he sees a ghostly woman standing there. He freaks out.
I barely saw that ghostly woman there.
Oh, I did.
Be honest.
I saw it. But he freaks out. He sees it. He moves it away. Like, he moves the camera away, and when he comes back, the woman's gone. So he runs to go get Archie, brings him back, and Archie doesn't even look like he went all that far, right? He was a lot closer. Like, when he went running, like when Nathan ran for Archie, he seemed a lot closer, right? Like, that's not just me. It seemed like he ran all of like 4 feet to get him.
Yeah, but you could also have edited it that way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so he brings Archie back. He looks up there. He doesn't see anything. They check Nathan's camera, and there's nobody in the footage. They are very loud right now when they should be quiet. Like,
be quiet especially at all fucking times when you're doing something
especially
like this.
If like Nathan thinks he saw someone, they should be whispering instead of drawing attention to themselves being very loud. I'm just the sheer volume that It's like, no, I swear, I saw it. It's there. I'm telling you, it's there. It's like, why are you yelling? If there is someone there, why are you fucking yelling? You don't know if there are more people there. And you're just yelling. This is the be fucking quiet moment. If you're creeping around some abandoned fucking building, you do that shit very quietly. They check out the campers, but like before heading in, they find the camper that they saw just completely uninhabitable. Like the windows are broken, the doors are bashed in. They then find another camper set up by a fire pit, and this one is also bashed to shit.
I thought this was the same one that wasn't bashed from back then.
No, it was the same thing.
It's a different one? Oh,
yeah, there were two.
I would leave, come back in the daytime.
Yep. After they find that one next to the fire pit, they turn around and see that from that one, there's like a cement path to an open window. And they're gonna go check that out. Not me. I'm all for doing ghost hunts and stuff. Fuck that. I don't know this place. They looked inside that window. They looked inside that window, and that shit looked like a fucking meth head's paradise. Absolutely not. Not happening.
There was so much broken bottle there. It fucking looked like a recycling plant.
But now, as they're heading for that window, Archie tells Nathan that his camera's the battery light is blinking red. He tells him that when they left, the camera was only about like half charged. How the fuck do you expect to film shit with half a battery and no extras in your backpack?
You would figure that's the case, but apparently when you're like filming on a budget or something with college kids, because you don't think these things through. You'd figure it. So I guess it's a camera per battery.
That, you know what? No, because I'm fairly certain that Nathan has extra batteries for his camera. But still,
so then why didn't
you fully charge your battery before you left? Why did you only charge it halfway? You're going to be walking around at night. You have your camera on recording everything. Like, what the fuck? This is how ridiculous I find it. I have 3 regular batteries and a giant ass V-mount battery for my Blackmagic Pocket 4K that we're doing this on now. I have 6 batteries for my Lumix GH4. Yep, I have 6 batteries so that I always have a battery. I have 3 batteries for my Lumix G7. I have 2 batteries for my Canon Rebel T3i, and I have 4 batteries for a Sony a7S II that I borrowed once. How are they running around trying to film a project that they're worried about failing this unprepared? That doesn't make sense. That's a stupid problem to set up that didn't need to happen. Like that's not something that needed to happen. They climb through the window, and as I said before, this absolutely 100% looks like a meth head's paradise. Like, it is gross. It looks like there's piss and shit all over the place, broken glass, cans. They can't even climb into
like a meth fucking place.
Yeah, them just climbing in looks like they would get tetanus. That's how bad it looks in there. What is it? Again, I'm noticing that the tripod, the Gorilla Pod, still isn't attached to Nathan's camera. It's still in his backpack. And why isn't Archie using the night vision camera right now to look in to make sure everything's fine?
Oh, he doesn't let you know about it. He doesn't actually know how to use it.
Yeah, because it's like
he doesn't just like a matter of fact. It's like a Seinfeld episode. They're matter of fact.
Yeah, because it's like they don't even turn it on until they all get inside that meth head room. And then go, well, let's see how dark it is in here to see if we need to use the night vision camera. You're gonna need to use it. It's the middle of the fucking night and you're inside an abandoned building. You're gonna need to set that up. Like that's just stupid. But it gets set up. It's recording a dumb area. I think it's recording in that room looking out the door. I don't know why, because there's no reason.
No activity has been spotted there, but that's where they chose to put it.
That's a camera that, like, he shouldn't have had.
It's a wasted camera. That's a Delta camera putting right there. If I was playing like, Phasma,
it shouldn't have been. Okay, so Archie, Archie shouldn't have had another Canon camera. His only camera should have been the night vision camera that they use very sparingly, right? So the main camera they're using is the one that Nathan has, right? and he's recording everything. And then you just emphasize stuff when you go, hey, let me check night vision. And that's when he turns it on, and you do that, and you get to look around. There was no reason for the other cannon when there's that, and there's no reason for the camera to be set up in a room where nothing fucking happens. Okay, so they walk around the first floor. Archie's hearing some things. They walk into the next area. Archie tells Nathan that he's starting to jump at shadows, and the room that they entered looks moldy and burnt and just gross all around. This is the room where it's like I see all the power stations and that giant garage door that's like right there with the broken ass steps. With the bottom floor completely checked out, they decide to go up and check the next floor, only to get spooked when they hear a thud come from upstairs. They run back to the room that they entered from to calm down and leave, and when they get back in there, they find that the camera Archie set up is no longer facing out into the doorway. It's turned around and facing a wall. Nathan is freaked out.
But why wouldn't you have stopped to look at that footage?
Yeah.
The whole scene goes by. No one stops to look at the footage. They made a big deal about it.
You stop to look at Nathan's footage of the window.
Yeah,
but you don't stop to see like who the fuck turned this around, because it's like it's
ridiculous. Like they sometimes they get a good hit with their script, and other times it's like, bro, how'd you miss this small minor detail?
Yeah, so like they don't check it, but it's the fact that like, so Nathan is freaked out and concerned that someone touched the camera, but like you said, they don't check it, and then he asks if Archie just mistakenly placed it facing the wall. That's the dumbest fucking question, but the response that comes from Archie is just like, it's like Mark Wahlberg's what? No. It's like what is this response? Why are you asking if your friend fucked up like that?
Actors. Maybe they're not very good actors. Maybe they gotta stick to writing.
That's fine, but when you're doing something like that, like they might not have had a script, like we don't fucking know. But when it comes to shit like this, it's the way that like I write my scripts, right? So when I'm writing dialogue between people, I say it out loud, because if it doesn't sound natural, like what's the point? Because you're like, nobody fucking talks like that. So why the fuck am I gonna write dialogue where it's like, oh yes, I don't know why that is happening.
The roboticness of it, yeah.
It's like you two are friends.
They don't make it feel the human side of it, where like you're supposed to know each other. You're roommates. You would think that they're roommates too in the beginning.
Yeah, like possibly at college and everything, and they came from like apparently they came from like the same town too. Yeah, but yeah, so it was like that was just weird. But then they stupidly decide to not leave and keep exploring because they don't believe in ghosts and spirits. Do you believe in crackheads?
Do you
believe in crazy people? Because that's who's probably there.
So like, what is fucking eating your fucking skin?
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on right now?
Saying.
Because the staircase is
crazy
broken.
Mike and the gang doing fucking weird gerbil shit to you in a fucking abandoned fucking place.
No, because the staircase is broken, they have to climb up on furniture to reach the steps.
Is that still not a red flag? Like
this? Yeah, this is a big no-no for me. If you're up there and someone else is up there and they start chasing you, you need to run through the upper floor that you've never been in before, in the dark, then jump down a flight of stairs, potentially hurting yourself, just to have to keep running into the room that you originally came into the building from, like crawling over like broken shards of glass. But no, they're like, whatever, we'll just keep doing all this in the dark. Like, at a certain point, you're just like, you're dumb. And whatever the bad shit that's about to happen to you, you kind of deserve it. You're not thinking everything through. So they continue to explore. They make their way to another room with another staircase. But now they find the book that Nathan left at Archie's house on the floor.
But we crossed over the part towards the beginning with the pigeon. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Was there a pigeon?
One with the pigeon. There's a part with the pigeon where they go upstairs to find out what that noise is. The noise was a pigeon that broke, I guess, through. That didn't look like it just broke through. You don't see it until they're up close on it, that it's even a fucking pigeon.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
I didn't even.
you're very confused. See, you didn't even notice it. See, I was like, bro, like, I don't really understand why you said pigeon when no one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, it's one thing to be like a found footage, but be focused at some point in the scene.
Yeah. Archie accuses Nathan of putting the book there, and I hate that almost every single movie. Exactly. I hate that almost every single movie does this to just create some sort of conflict,
drama,
and it never makes sense. How could Nathan put the book up on the second floor in some back area when they've been together the entire time?
The whole entire time. Not left each other's side. Literally, if they did, it'd be almost damn near pitch black in whatever room it is. So you would know someone left. You would know that there's a light has moved out of the room.
Yep. The only time that they weren't attached at the hip was when Archie went to pee. So you're accusing Nathan of, while you were peeing, running into the main building, finding the entrance, finding a way to get up to the second floor, running through that area, placing the book, then running all the way back down, and then coming to get you to then tell you about a person that was in the window. Like,
that sounds like some Superman.
Yeah,
it's like beam me up Scotty shit right there.
And it's like every movie does this, and it's something that just every single time it annoys the shit out of me, because in the real world, if we're there and you're like, hey, did you bring the book? And I'm like, I didn't know that I was supposed to bring the book.
Supposed to bring the book?
And then you
I would have addressed that too. I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And it's like, ha ha ha, what are you joking? And he's like, no, it's still at your house. Like, I didn't know I had to bring it. Right?
Wouldn't you bring the book? Go back and get the book?
I wouldn't even be doing this at night. Like, I would have to come see this during the day, make sure everything is fine, and then come back and do it at night. Or even just spend the entire day there, so you're exploring during the day, so you know everything's there.
Added footage.
So you don't need,
that makes more sense.
So then you don't need to worry about like a crackhead fucking coming out of nowhere, because you've been there all day. You've seen that there's no one there. Yeah, exactly.
Needle. Like,
so it's like this. The whole fight is just fucking. It's stupid. I don't like it. They check the book to see if it's the same book, and it's the exact same book. Archie starts to freak out. Of course. And then while Nathan is like, look, I didn't put it there. And he's like, I swear to you, I didn't put it there. Nathan then says, swear to me you didn't put it there. And it's like,
what the fuck? You've literally been near me the whole time.
He literally just said it, and he's never left your sight.
Worst friend ever.
What the fuck are you doing?
Friend ever.
Terrible fucking friend. They start to hear like a metal scraping sound. So they go back to check out what it is. It's down the same hallway that it just came from. And the door that they were trying to open that was locked is now open. There's faint sounds of a woman or child.
I don't know. It sounded like a child. I don't know what the hell was in the middle that was hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it sounded like a child. But there's like, I guess like a ghostly woman crawling around. Like that's who is up in the window. I guess that's Esther or whatever. Was saying that name sounds like it has to be Esther, and they just kept pronouncing it Esther because it sounds like
there's an H there. There's definitely an H in that.
Because it's
Esther.
It sounds like you're saying it like Daffy Duck, right? Now
that you say it like that, yeah, you know, kind of does sound like you're trying to say it like a dumbass.
So it's like, I'm assuming the woman that we're seeing in the building, or we're going to see in the building, is that person. So, but when the faint sound of like a woman or child or whatever it is like happening, like we can clearly hear it. None of them respond to it. Do you realize that?
No.
It's like,
makes you think it's only going through their audio, you know?
Yeah, possibly. So it's at this point they decide that they just need to get the fuck. Yeah, but it's at this point that they decide they just need to get the fuck out of there.
Whoa.
Who's at your back door? Heyo.
Oh, she's throwing the garbage out. Okay.
See, you're getting those fucking alerts too.
That camera never the camera never gives alerts anymore. That's the one that's the cordless one. When it was up front and going off all day, it lasted 2 days charge. Now it's been on like 7 days because it never goes off. So when it goes off, it's alarming.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, so they decide to get the fuck out of there. One of them, I think it was like
wise choice.
I think Nathan asks should we get the book? Should we grab the book? And I think it's Archie that yells, "Just leave it."
Just leave it. The fuck you need it anymore for?
Yeah. So Nathan makes it
end up back in that library anyway. Some weird way that gets back.
So Nathan makes it to the staircase that they climbed up to get up there, and he turns back to call for like Archie, and Archie's nowhere to be found. He's about to go and check like where Archie went, where he sees someone crawling in the dark towards him. And he's just like, nope, fuck it, and turns and jumps down the stairs onto that table thing, and Archie's camera's there, which that's weird. I don't know if that was supposed to be like that or something, but I do know when they ran for the stairs, Nathan was in front of Archie, and then they're at the stairs, and Nathan's there, but there's no Archie behind him, but then Archie's camera is downstairs, so it's all fucking confusing.
Oh, okay. That is kind of confusing.
When he jumps down and sees the camera, his light goes out. He tries to get it to turn back on, only managing to get it to like strobe. And while it's strobing, you can see that there's a woman on all fours, like over in the corner, and it begins to run towards him. This freaks him out, as it would freak out fucking anyone.
Anyone.
The light cuts out, and apparently he just runs through this place in the dark. He makes his way outside. The flashlight is still strobing, as he, I'm assuming, is running for the fence. He turns around because I think there's like a growling that like makes him turn around, and when he turns around and looks, I'm assuming that it's Archie, only because we've seen Archie's pants. He's wearing like those tight straight leg sweatpants, and when he turns around, it's those same pants. So I'm assuming it's Archie. He starts growling at him, standing in the dark, and then chases him away. As the camera cuts to black, we get a title card that says, "Despite the camera being found in 2006, the footage was dated April 2019. There is still an open investigation into both of their disappearances to this day." And that is the end of 13.
Of it. That's it.
Yep.
That's the whole fucking movie.
That's it. Hiccup. Only facts that I've been able to find is on IMDb. It says that their estimated budget was about £50. So we'll say like $50.
Around that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that. I know the British pound is like dog shit, but it's like I'm assuming it's about that. We have info on one of the filming locations. I'm sure like that actual building's location, like they don't want to advertise that because then there'll be people fucking going to it and probably getting hurt going in there.
Yeah, of course.
The library that was like filmed in the beginning of the movie is located in Hastings, East Sussex, England. And then submitted to a bunch of festivals. Their festival awards have been the official selection at the Hollywood International Golden Age Festival in 2021, honorable mention at the Athens International Monthly Film Festival, an official selection at the Paris International Short Film Festival in 2021, best student film at the Paris International Shorts Festival in 2021, and the official selection at the Calicari Film Festival in 2021. And that is all that I have for you on that.
I figured there wasn't going to be much. Oh, it's at best a fucking 2.
Really? You would only give this a 2?
I mean, yeah. I could go to 3 only because it actually was found footage. But I felt it was boring. It wasn't that dramatic for me. I expected a little more of... They could have had more like jumps in the building. You know what I mean? It didn't do it for me.
So you think this is on par with the Bell Witch haunting?
Oh, that was terrible.
That's a 2. Or Lilith, which was a 2. See, now you're rethinking it.
But see now, yeah, because it can't be a 1 either, but it definitely can't be a 2 if those were those ones. It just wasn't, it was just 40 minutes of a movie. I don't feel like it wasn't anything of consequence. I don't know. What are you thinking? Can you honestly say with a clear conscience to do a 3? What do we have a 3 on here? Last radio call? Last radio call was good.
We have Andy Baker tape.
Andy Baker's? 3. I liked Andy Baker.
The Last Radio Call and Real Evil. Those are all 3s.
Real Evil was decent. What was Hollow Graves? Because I don't have a star.
Hollow's Grove. I don't know.
Oh, Grove. Sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
I guess you can throw out the whole entire 3 if that'd be the case. I can bump it up. Bump it up.
Yeah, here, hold on. I will go my channel. I can quickly look in stuff. Let me just mute the desktop so other people don't need to hear it. Final Project, Chupacabra. What the fuck? Olive Grove. Man, this is your handlebar mustache fucking thing.
Yes.
A 2. We gave it a 2.
Fuck it. We can go with 3. It was a short enough film, which is a plus, because if you did that longer, I'd get pissed because I'd be bored.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it is a found footage film. And it didn't suck enough for a way I didn't want to watch it again.
Yeah. Because it's like, obviously, I don't really think this movie is 1-star to me. I enjoyed this because it goes by fast enough that it doesn't, for me, it wasn't boring because it goes quick. Like I said, at the 10-minute mark, we know who the characters are. We know what the premise of like what they need to do, and they found their book. That's all in the 10 minutes, right? Then after they find the creepy book, it's another 10 minutes of them figuring out the clues for where they need to go and all that shit, and then getting to the location. Yeah. Then it's like another 10 minutes of them trying to find a way to get into the location while also being freaked out by stuff. And then the remainder of the film is them inside the building and then being chased away and killed. All done on $50. So it's probably equipment that they already had around the house. And yeah. So it's like, that's why it's like, it moves fast. It does everything that it's supposed to be. Could there have been more? Absolutely. But like, if this was a student film project, like, honestly, like, it's not bad.
No, not for 2 people with like a $50 fucking budget.
Yeah, and it's like, just looking at some of the films that they have there, like, they look good, and it looks like they keep winning awards for it.
That's
like, for
good,
their stuff.
then.
So it's like, it seems like they're getting better. So it's like, I hope they do more stuff. I do want it. Like, this one looks like it's more of a period. Yeah, this is a short period drama. I'm not about that. They did a crime drama called Faults. And then they have the horror film. I would like to see them do something else in the found footage horror genre, learning the shit that they now know, if that makes any sense. Like, knowing what they know now from the other projects that they've done, transitioning to back into horror to see to like,
how especially if it's, or not.
Especially if it's this, because it's like, did they die?
Because but did you die?
Well, because it ends with the cameras are found, but the cameras were found in 2006, but all the footage is dated 2019.
2012.
So it's
2019,
like,
that's it. Yes.
Yeah. So they went in.
Did they travel back in time?
Yeah. So it's like, are they missing there, or did they manage to get out, but their cameras stayed? Like, there's more, or you could even have like new people go because the footage was like released and stuff, to like figure out like, oh, well, what the fuck is actually happening here? So it's like, I would like to see more expanded. I would like them to get rid of that 13 title, because that is absolute dog shit. That is doo-doo dog water. I don't like it. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
Hate it. Just like that Real Spectre and what was it? Pure evil. Real evil. Or Spectre. Like,
but don't forget, there's the other name for it too. It was like
Spectre.
Asylum of the Damned or something like that. Because remember, the full film was cut down into a shorter film. The name was changed, and then it was put into an anthology movie. Yeah. So that film has 3 fucking names. But yeah, that is it for
season 2, boys and girls. We're down
of the spooky horror
coming
show.
Up with the next one, we'll be putting out a response on what we're doing soon.
Yeah, I do have a bunch of scripts already finished for a bunch of movies, so if like you want to go through and do any of them, yeah. Thanks everybody. We will see you next time.
See you later.